Alright, so in today's video, I decided to finally cover a weapon I had but never decided to use. The Coda Hema is what I'd say is a better way to get the Hema into your inventory than it is to go and grind the materials for it in the Dojo. So the Coda Hema has it to where on a headshot you will gain 5% lifesteal, which is quite nice, especially since this will drain your life to, well, have basically infinite ammo. But at the same time, this weapon got increased all its stats like across the board from its normal Hema form. So I decided to bring my Haro, who does a real good amount of damage for it on crit, especially since I use Arcane Crepuscular, on top of Evade to help benefit even more with the final crit damage, which this weapon, funnily enough, is built for because of the fact you need to go for headshots if you want lifesteal, otherwise you go for the body. Another thing is you get multiplicative damage in some things. What are those things? Well, we'll cover that when I go over the build, but overall, as you can tell, this weapon is really strong and doing quite well. But what about against like an Acolyte? Because we can see against some Banes and some Basics, it's doing well and killing quite fast. So let's test this on a Acolyte. I'll see you when there's one. Alright, and the Acolyte is here. So let's see which Acolyte we are going to be getting. Mania. Alright, let's see how we do. Okay, quit teleporting. Oh, you are the annoying one where you become immune to damage. Well, as you saw before he became immune to damage, it was doing quite well. There we go. I mean, that's not bad. Especially since they became immune, so I wasn't at my full, I think. I didn't think my primary frostbite was at max, but as you saw, killed him quite quickly, especially since they were immune so much. But overall, let's take this to the Simulacrum, where we can show this against level 200 enemies. And I think now I'll go back to doing those Corrupted Heavy Goons, because usually I do the Scalger group just so it has a wide variety, but I think I'll do Corrupted Goons. So, I will see y'all there. And here we are in the Simulacrum. So, when it comes to the Coda Hema, its stats are quite higher than the normal Hema. We have a 11% to a 20%, for crit chance, a 2 times multiplier 2.3, so not that big. We got 25% to 30% status, which is nice. We have 47 viral damage, 52. The fire went up from 5 to 5.33, and the mag went from 60 to 72, which is quite nice, as well as you can get a progenitor, which can be cold, heat, toxin, all those good options. So, how did I build the Coda Hema? Well, I built it around taking advantage of our unique trait, so when it drains 5% of our health, we gain 5%. When it drains 5% of our health, if we get a headshot, we gain 5% in lifesteal. So, I went with Gal Chamber, Gal Scope, Serration for more damage, High Voltage and Malignant Force, so we got Corrosion, Viral, and Cold, and Primary, Prime Shed, and Vital Sense. Why Prime Shed? I wanted Prime Shed for the punch through and the extra fire rate, but you could replace this for the new mod that we got, which is Necrophagic Vigor. Basically, when you reload, your health is then drained to create ammo, which will also then increase your crit chance and crit damage by 20% for every 20 health drained, capped at 360%. To me, that is only very useful on units that are primarily health-based, so like Nidus and Aros, and I believe Kullervo, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be losing my mind. Either way, those are good options, but to me, I think it's fine to pick whatever you like. You could even use Bladed Rounds, but you may be looking at Galvanize App 2 going, why is it there? Well, the way the Coda Hema works and is coded is that it's multiplicative, so using Condition Overload, you'll get even more damage with the status types. And we went with Primary Frostbite, but I could easily understand also going for Primary Blight, Primary Crux, or Primary Deadhead since we are going for headshots. But I like Primary Frostbite because we get more crit damage and more multi-shot, which can stack up to 40 times. Now, how does this test against level 200 Corrupted Heavy Goons? Now, we already got to see what it looked like whenever you got full scaling inside of the mission. So what does it feel like without the full scaling? Well, I still say it hits pretty well, especially since, well, we need a couple kills to get it to start proccing all of its galvanized mods. But as you see, as we keep going, it proceeds to do what it should be doing, having a ton of multi-shot and having a ton of damage. Now you could obviously mix this with Sight, so you would never have to reload and lose your health. So if you ever got shot, you would just have the lifesteal factor of it, which to me is nice. I just find getting Sight's evade to stay really high to be a little bit more annoying. You can mix this with Lavos. You could even do it with Araxia, which I think would be quite nice, using your spider webs and pulling enemies into them. You could even use it with Caliban and mix them together, so you get like both of them adding together or multiplying together. I forget which one it was. I think the order mattered, but as you see, it's doing quite well, especially since I'm getting full effects of my primary frostbite. Yeah, we're getting our full effects of primary frostbite, galvoscope. Galvoscope's the other thing. Galvanized aptitude, galvanized chamber. The only thing we're not taking advantage of is obviously the crepuscular, arcane, and evades extra multiplier. But I'll head back to the Simulacrum, and I'll give you my final thoughts on how the Coda Hema works, how it feels, and how that new mod we got is going to benefit. And here we are in backrooms. Now, when it comes to the Coda Hema, in my opinion, can be a good option and is viable, but I think it sadly does get outclassed by other weapons. Things like one of its other counterparts. You could have gone for a Coda Sporothrix. You could have also gone for a Coda Basilisk. To me, these two weapons are really strong and quite powerful. The Sporothrix obviously being one of the best in the Coda options, or at least guns. Other weapons like the Boltor Prime is really good, the Strun Prime, but if we compared it in its own category, I would probably say the Burst On is like one of its other competitions. But again, the Coda Hema gets a Valence, while the Burst On gets a Carnon. Basically, the way the Coda weapons are is it's a pick what you like, pick what you don't, etc., etc. Change it if you need it. I think it's good. I think it's strong. I think it's a viable option. You just have to build into it. Overall, the mod, Necrophagic Vigor, I think it could be useful. I don't have it yet. It's all the way basically at the end, and I haven't done it despite doing basically all of my things. I'm only at 15. But tell me what weapons y'all want to see down below. Tell me what builds y'all want to y'all run on the Coda Hema or the Hema in general. But tell me how y'all want to run other things, like if y'all want to see me run a Warframe build, another weapon build. Tell me them down below. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and turn on that bell for post notifications after you subscribe, so you always get notified whenever I post a video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.